Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do my first impressions on the WE Knives Malice. So this is a loaner from Jared over at Neves Knives, so thank you to Jared. This is one of the knives he'd been meaning to send me for a while, that he thought I'd like to check out. He knew it wasn't going to work lefty in certain ways, but thought I would appreciate the design, and he was right. First off, what stands out is this flamed anno finish on the scales. These are titanium scales. It's got a bit of weight to it. It's got to be around 6 ounces on this guy, at least. Well, I'm not going to say at least, but it's got to be around there. But man, look at that flamed anno. That is just absolutely sexy. I will say right off the bat, detent on the flipper is rather light because they were worried about dialing in the hull deployment, and you know, you have a big chunk of what I believe is M390 right here, so if you give it a little gas, it flies out, no problem, right? I'm pretty sure this is M390. I mean, I can't be certain. Ferrum Forge. It's a Ferrum Forge design, we know that. Usually we puts the steel marking around here, at least on these older models. I don't know if I'm blind as a bat or what, but I don't see it. But again, fairly certain it's M390. At the least, it would be S35. So, but again, I think it's 20 CV M390, something like that. It does have a flat grind on it, or saber grind, whichever one you want to choose. Very large knife, so there it is. I'll put it up against its little brother, the Ferrum Forge Stinger, which, you know, the Malice is basically the large version of the Odium. If you've seen the Civivi Odium, they shrunk that down and yeah, made it the Odium, but it was originally the Malice design. And then here is the Stinger. So it's definitely a large knife. I mean, this is already 3 1/4 inches, I think, and this guy's got to be at least 3 1/2. But similar designs overall. This used to have a flipper tab, obviously, but I had it ground off because I had the same issue on this knife that there is on this. The detent is just too weak on the flipper, so I was like, why have that? Why not just make it an awesome finger choil? And then, you know, it'll work perfectly as intended. And I have not regretted that since. I actually had one of these made to give away. I believe I'll do that on my Patreon. I may have already done it by the time you see this. So, but yeah, there's a comparison to the Stinger. I'm trying to grab stuff people might know. Here's the Malibu. 3.3 inches on this guy. So again, 3.5 or ish on that guy. It's a good comparison there. Slim Midi should be a very comparable size right here. Both are 3 1/2 inch blades. So there you go. A little bit on the handle for the Malice, but otherwise a very comparable size is the Slim Midi. Obviously, you're going to be slimmer on the Slim Midi. Is that all I want to pull out here just for schnitz and giggles? This is the F5.5 from Urban EDC. So anyway, it's a large knife. It's a large knife. Actually, I got some couple perfect comparisons actually here. Chavez 229. Mine's modded a bit. And Evo 2.0 from CKF. These are all 3 1/2 inch blades. Bang. All right. Now you know. Now you know. Sorry, I just had to do it. Had to pull those out. So yeah, I like the size. I mean, it fits my hand perfectly, right? And then you have a choil to choke up. Really, really good ergos on this knife. Very simple. Ferrum Forge is one of those companies / designers that nails ergonomics very much in the sense of like Voxnets, but they do it at a larger scale. Vox always shrinks things down and makes it comfortable. Ferrum Forge does it at a normal size level, I guess. There's no jipping up here, which is interesting, but comfortable. It really is. So why does this not work for me? Well, that's why. It's a frame lock, and can't flick it unless I get down on the clip. Now I can. And when I do, it's fantastic. Again, I said this in the unboxing. I'll say it in the review. If I owned this, I would chop that flipper tab off, have it ground off, just like I did on my Stinger. And look at that, right-handed. It flicks like a dream, guys. So if you didn't have that flipper tab to get in the way, you'd have a bigger choil, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it not deploying or being lazy, kind of like that, right? I guess you could also get the detent strengthened if you want, but it's so good on the flick that I wouldn't mess with it, to be honest. I would just get rid of that flipper tab. And I'm sure most people who own these probably don't care about the detent. They probably just love to have two options, right? And that's fair. I just have it in my head because I did it to the Stinger, so I'm more likely to, opt for that. I like the angle on the back on this guy. If you ever had to hold it in a reverse grip of some sort like this, I guess a reverse draw cut, I don't know. You have a very good landing spot for your thumb, very Strider-esque. You could even choke up into the choil here, and you'd still have room, or you could wrap down here. For your Friday night gas station fights, you're good to go. Action, I wish it was a little more droppy. Now, it could just be that it needs to be tuned a little bit, maybe a little KPL, I'm sure if you got it tuned properly, like, let me see. Yeah, there's no play at all. You could probably back off that pivot a cinch, and then it would probably drop shut. Yeah, I'm sure it would, but I'm not going to mess with it. So, yeah, guys, that's a quick look at the Wii Malice. First impressions right there. The clip, I haven't really carried it much. I think I carried it one time, and it's a standard 3D milled clip. I don't see any issues with it. There's no issue with the relief cut. The tension feels good, so I'm sure it carries very well. It is heavy, though. I mean, you got to give it that. It's heavy. I doubt there's any milling in there. We could take a look. Yeah, I see no milling on either side. So that was intentional, I guess, either to save cost or because they want it to be a big chunker. They went with a full back spacer. I mean, that adds weight. So I think they were going for that on this. I mean, think of the name, the Malice. So makes sense. So I really like this guy. I really appreciate Jared for sending it my way. Keep an eye out for the full review. And, yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.